I don't know if I've stated on this channel before, but Stranger Things is my favorite show ever. I absolutely love it. The cast, the characters, the direction, the 80s aesthetic, everything about that show, in my opinion, is perfection. And I thought I would put myself to the task to name you guys my top 10 favorite Stranger Things episodes. Now, a little disclaimer. Besides Episode 7, Season 2, The Lost Sister, which that episode is garbage, I don't dislike any season. Every episode of Season 1, every episode of Season 2, and besides Episode 7, every episode of Season 2 is fantastic. 1, 2, and 3 are fantastic, besides Episode 7. So to narrow it down to 10 favorite episodes was a bit of a pain and very challenging than I thought, but I think I narrowed down a pretty fantastic list. And of course, spoilers. I will be talking spoilers in this video. Before I give you guys my thoughts, let me know your guys' thoughts of your guys' favorite top 10 favorite Stranger Things episodes. I'd love to know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. That's the best way to tell me your guys' favorite Stranger Things episodes. Okay, so without further ado, heading up at number 10, I have Episode 6, The Spy of Season 2. Episode 6, Season 2, The Spy. This is a fantastic episode. It shows the Mind Flayer completely taking over Will. It shows the kind of the conupness. It has absolutely great action sequences. And what I love so much about episode 6 of Season 2, The Spy, is the intensity. This is so close to the finale, and it's absolutely amazing the way the intensity builds off of all these different characters. Again, Will Byers being completely taken over by the Mind Flayer. It's all perfection. I absolutely love this episode. I think this is truly one of my personal favorite episodes. It showed a lot of emotion and dignity to so many other characters. Loved it. Coming in at number 9, I have Episode 6 of Season 1, The Monster. Now, this showed so much character development for everyone character, but especially Eleven. From this point on, we didn't know what Eleven's powers can do. The sequence where Mike and Dustin are getting chased by these bullies, and Eleven just comes in there and breaks the guy's leg and arm. It shows that Eleven's powers isn't just for lifting up things or stealing egos. It actually just showed that her powers can be brutal and intense, and she will use them brutally and forcefully to get the job done. I absolutely love that about this character, and it shows kind of the personification of so many other things in this episode. It shows Mike and Eleven getting closer, kind of more of a relationship, because when this started, it was more of a sister and brotherly relationship, but then as this further goes on, it turns into a much more romantic relationship, and we see that blossom so much. This had great acting, great performances. It shows the characters actually shows Dustin and Lucas actually liking Eleven a lot more. It's a perfect episode. Coming in at number 8, I have Episode 1 of Season 3, Susie, Do You Copy? This is a perfect intro to, in my personal opinion, my favorite season of the show so far. Season 3 is personally my favorite season of the show so far. And Episode 1 of Season 3, Susie, Do You Copy? Perfectly embodies how to do a intro to a season or to a show, in this case, a season, properly. This is a perfect episode, in my opinion, because, first of all, the 80s aesthetic is booming. It shows summer and it shows Hawkins and the summer feel. We open this episode and the season with the Russians, and they're going to play a big part. And then we move into that we learn that Eleven and Mike have had a full-on relationship now, and they're doing some things in the bedroom that kids should really not be doing. It shows Hopper being more of a father figure than he was in Season 2, because in Season 2 he started becoming that father figure, but now in this season he is full-on father figure. It shows the progression of the story, and it shows the mall, and it shows so many other things. It shows Steve works as. It's just a perfect intro. So great. Coming in at number 7 is Episode 2 in Season 2, Trick or Treat. I love holiday-related episodes, and this one is the perfect one. They dress up as Ghostbusters to go out trick-or-treating. It is perfect. perfect. The costume design of this episode, the music, the direction, the storyline, how the characters interact. Mike and Will finally meeting Maxine, or Mad Max as she's known as in episode 1 of the first season. Everything about this character is perfectly done. And also, I just love Halloween episodes. Halloween is a very fun holiday, and I just love Halloween inspired episodes. And this one is definitely a major Halloween inspired episode that is just continued off for so many other different characters and points in the entire show. Love this episode so darn much, and it just fantastic. Coming in number 6, episode 1, season 1, The Vanishing of Will Byers. Perfect intro to the perfect show. Perfect intro to the perfect show is the best word I can describe this. It sets the stage so well. Seriously, it sets the stage so well for what, in my opinion, is going to be the perfect show. It shows the characters' development. It shows the 80s aesthetic. It shows the dark tone, the undertone. It shows that this season is going to be a great mystery. It shows the darkness and the brewingness of this show is going to be. It shows every character that we need to know of this first season. It establishes the tone and the world that this show is going to. When I first watched this episode, when I first started watching the show, I was mind blown. This is a perfect first episode. Pilots are normally kind of the less interesting part of the show. This one, no. This one's perfect. Absolutely. Love this one. Coming in at number 8 is episode 8 of season 2, The Mind Flayer. This is right before episode 9, where things start really intensifying. This, perfect. Perfect. Seriously, so darn perfect. I love this episode. Episode 8 and episode 9 of season 2, some of the best episodes of television ever. Bob's death. I think he dies in this episode. Actually, I don't know. But Bob's death in this season, episode 8 and 9, I can't remember which one he dies in. Excuse me. So emotional. Because we learned so much about Bob, and we learned to actually like the guy and care for him as kind of this quirky guy, but also outstanding guy. This guy who was trying just to save everyone and risk his life to make this decision. Risk his life to make this decision. He pulled out everything he knows. He was out of his comfort zone to protect the people he loved, the woman he loved, enjoys, and the death, the way it's filmed, edited, and shot, brutal, gruesome, but also kind of meaningful in a way. The character needed to die to show that he was not just this bumbling idiot. He actually cared about so many other people. Love this episode so much, and the action sequence is perfect. Coming in at number 4, episode 7 of season 3, The Bite. Oh my goodness, where do I start? This is truly, I keep saying this every season, but this one shows the progression and the downfall of this season. Eleven gets wounded in this season by the Mind Flayer. Intensity, great action, great characters, great direction. It shows how the Duffer Brothers know how to make a proper episode. This one is fast-paced, moving. Some of the best dialogue of the whole show. Some of the best acting of the whole show. Some of the best performances in the entire show. This episode shows that this show is, in my opinion, an intensified masterpiece. Coming in at number 3, I have episode 8 of season 1, The Upside Down, the final episode of season 1. My 3 pick are just going to be kind of very generic, but I love the final episode of season 1. It shows Will finally finding Will, the friendship being reunited, which we haven't seen that besides episode 1 of season 1, the beginning of that episode. We finally see the reuniting. Great action sequences. Steve Harrington coming back to play as not just this douchebag guy and actually helping fighting the Demogorgon. So many awesome things about this season. Perfect. Coming in at number 2, I have episode 9, season 2, The Gate, the finale. This is an hour-long episode. You can't do any episode better than a finale, better than this. The action sequences are off the charts. The Mind Flare finally gets out of Will Byers. We have that sequence. Then we have everyone else going in the tunnels. And it's all mesmerizingly awesome. The intensity, perfect. My personal favorite episode is episode 8, season 3, The Battle of Stargate. So many amazing moments. I could just make an entire video talking just about this episode. I know everyone talks about this episode with the death of Hopper, and I've already made a video about that. Sad, emotional, devastating. Definitely, it serves the character well, even though he's not really dead. The action in this episode is fantastic. Billy finally getting a comeuppance of being kind of a terrible guy, season 2 and season 3, but finally getting the comeuppance and the sacrifice himself, not just for Max, but not just for Eleven, but for his entire friends, for the people he actually does love. Perfect. The way the acting and the performances go through the show, amazing. Everything about this show is perfect. So those were my top 10 favorite Stranger Things episodes. What do you think of this? I'll love to all your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, you guys can subscribe and hit that like button and hit the post notification bell so you guys never miss when I upload another video. You guys can also check out my podcast I do every other Tuesday morning with a friend of mine. It's called the 2 Peas in a Pod podcast. You guys can also check out my Instagram at General_Daniel77. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. General out.